Today I'm using the symmetry tool in Autodesk Sketchbook. Hi everyone, I've had a commission to produce a bee, and the brief was they wanted a Napoleonic bee. Now I didn't even know what a Napoleonic bee was. I'd never heard of it, so I had to Google it. And it's a symbol that Napoleon had adopted apparently. And I thought the symmetry tool would be a great way to produce this bee, because I wanted it to be symmetrical. And I thought, let's use Autodesk. I can't use Procreate. There isn't a tool in that for it, or at least not one I'm aware of. So it's very simple. You go into Autodesk, you click on the symmetry. It's already set up for mirrored symmetry. And I produced a pencil outline very quickly. I couldn't believe how quick I could do it. Not because I only had to draw it once, but because I didn't have to worry about getting things the same each side. So I did a very quick pencil sketch, and then I used a texture brush because they wanted it to look as though, the brief was, they wanted it to look as though it had been stamped or printed with a letterpress, where the ink had been pressed out from the edge of the image. So I've used this sort of furry edge brush, and what I did, I made the pencil layer a lot lighter so I could see what I was doing. Then I created a new layer, and then I started drawing in again with this textured brush. So they're both default brushes that I use. But look how easy it is to get things symmetrical. I've never ever used the symmetry tool before. I've never had a need to, because I'm usually painting things that don't require symmetry. But this just seemed to lend itself to it, and it felt a very organic way. It surprised me really how easy it was and how natural it felt. And traditionally, I don't see this as a cheating tool, by the way, because traditionally you would draw half your drawing and flip it over and trace it. I've done that before in the past when I'm working with pencil and paper. So this is no different to that really. And you do get perfect symmetry. And the nice thing about it is, once you've finished, you can, or you're getting close to the end of the drawing, or anywhere I suppose, you can turn that symmetry tool off and put in a little bit of detail on one side of it to make it slightly different. I did do that, but I didn't do a lot of work on it. So yeah, very impressed with the symmetry tool. I'm going to have a look, see if it's in Procreate. If anybody out there knows if you can find a tool in Procreate like this, let me know. Save me looking, actually. So I'm just basically now putting in some sort of line work on the bee's wings, and I only used 2 pencil thicknesses for this old drawing. I used the one that I'm using now to get in the initial lines, and once I was happy with those, I decided I was going to do some cross hatching, and I made the pencil a lot finer. I didn't pay any particular attention to the actual sizes that I was using. I couldn't tell you what they were, but that I just went by the feel with it. I just sort of reduced the size and thought, yeah, that's what I'm after. I probably messed about with it a couple of times to make sure I got exactly the right thickness. This is quite a big drawing, by the way, because I want to use this. They may need this bee on signs, sort of sides of vehicles and things like that. So it had to be a high res so it is quite a big file. I did toy with the idea of drawing it in a vector application, but gave up on that idea very quickly because of the amount of hatching that was in it. And I also wanted this fuzzy edge. So if I was using vector tools, there would be thousands and thousands of vector points, and it would be a really slow file to load and work with. So there you can see I'm getting very close to finishing this. I'm just putting a bit of cross hatching in there, you can see, with this finer pen, just to add the final details to it. And I made this with a transparent background as well, because obviously I wanted to, I'm going to use it as part of a logo, and it may be used on its own for the company, or it may be part of the logo as well. So there you can see I gave it a transparent background and exported that as a PNG to use in other programs. And then it occurred to me that the old image was transparent, which you might want it sometimes, but then again, you might want the actual body filled in. So I created a layer of green, and then to allow me to colour in the body white on another layer underneath the actual pencil work, so that I got a solid image that I could impose over everything. So that is it. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you have, a thumbs up as always would be much appreciated, helps me out a lot. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, because I have lots of videos like this and I would love to be sharing them with you. So hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.